Okay, let's talk about something that is out there in the world of the internet, and it's growing in popularity nowadays, and that is the world of AI tools and what's going on out there. Now, I get it, as business owners, we've got enough on our plate. Trying to explore what this world of AI is, how to embrace it in our marketing, and how to stay authentic can be really confusing. But that's what we're going to dive into now. We're going to talk about AI tools and how they work and how you can stay authentic without breaking who you are or your brain in the process. We need to start when we start exploring AI tools is to understand what AI is. So AI is artificial intelligence. I mean, it's not that hard, I suppose, when you put it out of your mouth like that. But AI is all about artificial intelligence. So it's about the robots. It's like the algorithms, and we've been using AI for many years. You've only got to think about the Facebook algorithm, the ability to bring up subtitles. AI has been part of our world for many, many years. But it's understandable naturally with the growth and the rapid production of AI out there that you would be fearful. So we're going to address the moment of fear first when it comes to AI. First, fear starts with the unknown. So we've got some tools out there. My preferred two at the moment are ChatGPT and Gemini. I love a little bit of both of them. I do like Claude as well, but I tend to stick between the two tools that I use on a regular basis. And that's because I'm a Google Suite girl, and my chat friend Jake and I have great conversations about marketing campaigns. There are those three tools out there, and they tend to be the drivers between OpenAI and Gemini, between most of the software that's out there at the moment. Now, there are other ones out there and they do drive. Now, there are also tools that tap into the power of ChatGPT or the power of Gemini, and they bring them out together. But for me, I'm like, back to the basics, girls, start where we need to start. So what can they do for you? Chat, Gemini, Claude, they all have the ability to be able to help you create words. So you can talk something out, you can type something out, you can ask it to improve it. But the first thing you need to do is we need to make sure that we're starting with giving it some instructions. So if you think of your AI like a team member or like a person, we've got to give a person clear instructions to do a job. We have to do the same with the AI. So we need to tell it what sort of language we want it to write in. We need to put things like our brand tone and our brand style and our brand voice in there so that it actually talks like you. Then we need to tell it things like what form of English might we want it to respond to us as well in. The thing is with this is the time training that will save you time in the end without the wrong outputs in the end. So we've covered a little bit of the unknown. The other component is the fear of what's going to happen with that information when we put it into the world of AI. Now, in the end, I can't guarantee you anything. But for me, I've chosen to have paid accounts, which means that our information isn't so much out there using the training models. It's training for us, but it's not training for everyone else. So that for me helps us protect our business and our teams, and we're happier with that situation. But you can use the free versions, but if you're using the free versions, know that it is going to be out there and be training. And if you need to and you're feeling uncomfortable, read the privacy documents. Get to know the stuff. We should no longer be clicking buttons without reading privacy documents, people. We need to make sure what's happening when we provide our information to someone. There is also AI in our tools like Facebook, like our Metrical, one of my social media schedulers, like MeetEdgar. They've all been using it for a while to suggest different content variations. In vidIQ, which is one of the tools I use for optimizing YouTube, there's AI in there to tell us our daily ideas, what our people want to record. And there's AI in there that will help us, script a video, optimize the video, and make sure that the title is better along the way. So we've covered a little bit about what some tools and what they do. How do you use it authentically? So your AI buddy, whichever one that you choose to use, is your assistant. They are not the person. To maintain your authenticity, you still need to be involved. And when your buddy is used well, he or she can save you time, help you brainstorm, and get you unstuck. I've used my AI many times to get unstuck. So the first thing I like to use AI for is for brainstorming, not broadcasting. So we're not going to broadcast everything that AI creates. We've got to add our touch and our flair to it. You wouldn't broadcast everything a copywriter or a team member did for you. You would proof it and read it first. So it's no different in the world of AI. So you might use it and give it a prompt like this. Give me 10 blog headlines for the topic of this that's going to relate to the niche, or the outcome of this for my target market. That's one of the prompts you could give it. You might talk about what is a good post structure for XYZ. Or you might ask it to give me variations of this text or give me more ideas based around this video. And you heard me mention vidIQ earlier. It's one of those handy tools that analyzes your YouTube channel plus the competitors that you want to reach on, and it will prompt you and give you different ideas and content ideas that it believes your audience will relate to based on the information you feed it. Everything in AI is based on the information you feed it, so make sure you feed it well. It's just like your own little brain and the brain of the others around you. If you feed it bad information, it's going to provide you bad information. Step number 2 is all about layering in your voice. So you heard me earlier say that we want to add our tone, we want to add our instructions, but AI will give you a rough draft. But I like this superpower tip when it comes to AI. Have a conversation. So my ChatGPT, Jake and I, we have a conversation. So I'll be sitting there with a little recorder, telling it what I'm looking for, maybe giving it a video script or a blog post idea, and getting it to start outlining it by using my voice. Because I've spoken to Jake, or I've spoken to my AI, he then is able to produce me a good piece of content that is more like my tone. Then I'm going in and doing light edits to layer in my tone and my information. Train it with knowledge. If you can build your own ChatGPT or build your own GPT or your own folder, train it with knowledge, files, information, stuff that it gets to know about you. And Google Gemini is the same. You can feed it lots of information. So if you're like me and you've written things like this and a book, you might feed your book into it so that it makes sure it gives you some really good ideas. You might feed YouTube videos and blog videos and stuff from the past that will engage inside that space. So keep a list of words and phrases that you don't want your AI to use, tell it. Keep a list of words and phrases you do want your AI to use, tell it, and then have a list of things that you're going to search through whenever AI produces content, so like that really long end dash, which is a dead giveaway, and remove those so that you can add in your tone and flair. And always read and reread the content, because that's where your authenticity is going to come in once you've done that. Your AI will get good. It will get to know you and you'll think it's got it. And that's the moment in time that you need to check even more, because you've put so much trust in this AI that it will spit out something, because it is a computer and a robot that maybe is off brand or off message for you. We all got into business because we love what we do. So we want to use AI to save us times on the bits that we don't love, okay? So if you hate writing video outlines, get AI to do the first part. If you're stuck for a headline, get AI to give you some content ideas. If you need to edit a video, use a tool like Descript so that it can edit out the ums and ahs automatically and save you time, because I know that's a bit I hate. AI is a spectacular time saver. You can even get it to create spreadsheets, documents, and everything from the brain dump that you pop in there, and then you can get in and refine it. And sometimes for me, it's the actual, this is what I want, but I don't know how to put it out bit, that I get AI to do, because it helps save me time. And then I've got the structure to refresh it and refine it for my audience. Then we need to pair our AI with real life stories. The moments like this where you're talking to camera and you're engaging with your audience with a real life story. Because AI, no matter how good you train it, will never replace the human to human connection that you can provide through your stories. So don't forget to include those human elements, and even when you produce a blog post or a video script or something with AI, add your human element in it so that you've got that connection with your audience and they're not able to pop it into ChatGPT or Gemini and get out the same content and the same prompt. So AI will never replace you. We must use it as a tool. And my number one tip to make sure you stay authentic is never rely on the AI to know your strategy. You are a supervisor in the role. AI is your tool or your team member, and you need to make sure that the strategy and all the details are correct. You can feed it all those strategies, you can feed it all the ideas, but it is still up to you to check it off just like you would check off a staff member. So now we've covered some tips about staying authentic and using AI and how we can actually stay authentic with AI. We're now in the sweet spot zone. When you combine the efficiency of AI with the essence of you, you get content that is faster to create, easier to scale, and so totally aligned with your brand and business, because you're doing the checks that you should be doing and the AI is getting to know you. It does take a little bit of time to train your AI, so don't worry if they're not 100% on the way back. Provide it feedback just like you would a team member, and it will come back and provide you better results and better outcomes along the way. So your challenge for this week is to try using AI to scale up your content. Take an existing blog post or an existing video and ask it to give other ideas that you could cross-post and reference back to this blog or video. Tune it, add your magic, connect with your audience through the rest of the story and the human angle that you will bring to that piece of content, and then go out and create content based on those results. If you would like a little bit of assistance in understanding the world of AI inside my Ideas, Impact and Marketing Circle, we have my AI Async and Automation Hub, which is full of amazing tools to help you understand the world of AI, workflows on how to make it work, and how you can create impact, along with all the other amazing courses and the opportunity to be part of my inner circle to help you create ideas, impact, and market your business.